But have all of you guys seen? I don't know how to share like videos, but have you guys seen like the video of a 51-year-old man from,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yes,
it
yes,
was
yes.
like a show on Lawson TV?
It's
Abandon, have you
he's in
seen that?
Kumasi. He's in
Yeah.
No,
Kumasi.
I haven't.
I was watching it
What's going on
yesterday
in the
and today.
video?
Do you know something? Message. Yeah, you let me see if when I open TikTok on another device, it's going to give me like the account so that I can
What
send
happened?
you.
Hey,
I
Yes,
want to
you can go
send
to Lawson
you.
TV.
Okay, yeah,
Lawson
so
okay.
just
TV
go
on
to
this.
Lawson TV then.
Lawson
On
TV.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Is it
Yes,
on
on
TikTok?
TikTok. Yes, it's
Yes.
on
Okay, I
TikTok.
might get
So
logged off, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
yeah. So I just want you to you understand tree fully, right?
Yes, I
Oh, but I can
understand.
explain to her.
Okay.
I can explain to her in case
Okay.
she.
So Abena will explain it to you, and when you finish, like
Okay,
along the line, you
I'm
can
listening.
also just watch.
I was angry yesterday, so I remember what the man was saying. So apparently, the man and the woman brought their daughter. I really like the fact that they didn't show the girl's face. The girl is
Yes.
14 years old. The lady
Yes.
she showed was the mom, I think, or the sister, one of them.
Yes.
The lady is 14 years old, and she went to complain to the family members that some man has slept with her. So I think he was being stubborn per how he was behaving. He felt like he has not done anything wrong. So they
Yeah.
brought him to when it comes to situations like this and the needy people, they don't know what to do. They bring it to shows like this. That is why sometimes I kind of 30% like those kind of shows and 70% dislike it because most of them they are misogynistic too sometimes. So when they brought the lady there, no more Busa Papa and say, what did you do? Like, tell us, what relationship do you have with this girl? Did you rape her? Or say, no, I didn't rape her. What did you do? I slept with her. Can you did you rape her? He said no, but I slept with her. Why? Because I asked her out. I asked to sleep with her, and she said yes. If you asked her and she said yes, why would a 14-year-old
But
old with the pain?
from the girl's narration as well, she
Yeah.
didn't even agree to it as
No,
in
she did not.
and then I think that also something that we highlighted briefly, especially
Oh,
Ifwa highlighted that sometimes people forget that people agree, like consent is given under force. So like it's coercive consent, right?
coercion. Yes.
And people
Coercion
tend
is
to think
still
that
rape.
it is appropriate. But the point is, even in that case, especially
She's
considering the fact
14.
that she is under 16 years, the law doesn't even recognize that she has the right to be
To give
able to even
consent.
say, yes, I want to do this. And from what she's saying, you see, I think it just exists generally with the relationships of like abuse, right? The abuser makes sure that you trust them to a certain point that you become unassuming. Exactly. I see Jasper 92GH
Yeah,
saying
that makes
under
a lot of sense.
manipulation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you become very unassuming because from what she was relating, she is mostly of service to this older man. You know how we live in
And
communities and we are
of
supposed to be
course,
helpful,
he's
we
a
are
grown
supposed to
man,
be
and when you see his
respectful.
Yeah.
face,
Exactly. Like she
you
was
think he's
only
an honorable
doing
man.
what any young person who definitely knows that apart from the fact that it's good to be respectful, you just want to help an elderly person. I would do that. I think other young people too would generally want to help, like would generally want to help an older person. So you send her to get you prepaid. She comes and then you tell her that, oh, pick up my phone for me, not knowing like you're walking behind her and then you lock the door.
That's crazy. Isn't
Can I
that's
say
sexual
something?
harassment?
It
Yeah,
is
no,
sexual
that's like
harassment, sexual abuse,
yes, it's
sexual
abuse
abuse.
because he actually
Plus,
succeeded in sleeping with her. So
it was premeditated. This one, no, there's no
yes,
way you will tell him. You will tell me that he was
No,
out of
he's
his
going to buy it
mind
and you
or he
bring it.
didn't know what he
Because
was
I'm in
doing,
the
or probably it was the moment, the heat of the moment, or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He
yeah,
thought
yeah.
about it. He knew that it's premeditated. Yes, Dr. K. You went there. You saw that. Oh, when I send this girl to go and do this, I'll get the chance
Yes,
to for her to come.
to
And
prepare
and
you
this is
took me
not
in my
even
whatever.
like
room. And
This is
he
not
has
a
been
very
doing it.
unique
That means he
case.
has
It
been
happens a lot.
grooming the girl, building
Yes.
the momentum from, I don't know, for years or for months.
And
Into
the thing
he
too
will
is
be
a bunch
smiling
of
to,
them,
yeah.
a bunch of them don't even see it to be a problem because these are adults you revere or respect in society. So you're less likely to think, oh my God, this is such a problematic thing.
Oh,
Right.
thank you. I think
A couple
Jasper
of
sent
weeks
something
ago,
to Abena.
someone sent me a
Just
DM,
Bahela.
and they said that this happened. Usually, actually, a man told me himself that this is
Yeah.
what they do to the kids, like oti efficacy more, like a compound house. The
Exactly.
old man will start to target the children, and he'll be sending them. So every day he'll say, "Oh, pick
If I
something in
you
my
there,
room for
don't
me."
raise your voice and small, I beg.
Speak small.
Yes, please.
We
Yes,
can
Small,
hear
please.
you,
small,
okay?
small.
And he said that they'll be like
Yeah.
sending the kids into Debia. So if somebody sends you every day, you are less likely to think that today if he sends me, he's going
It's
to
me.
rape
He's
me.
going
And
to do
that's what he
Something is
something.
told
going
me.
to happen.
He said that
Premeditated.
when
Why
they
not
sent
say?
somebody even sent me a DM and told me, say, when she was young, said Meme Tiko for
Yeah.
area. And she was like, she was even shocked to hear somebody from her town say this because Betum, somebody almost did that to her. And then when this old man called her and he was like, hey, today come to my room and pick a stool for me. Another girl came and ran to her and was like, hey, don't go, don't go. Not
Don't
knowing
go.
that
That
he
means
had
he
done,
has
yes,
He
he
tried.
was
had
a
done that to that
victim.
little girl. And she couldn't report it. So
Tried.
she like in her like her resistance, she want another girl not to go. So that's
Yeah.
what they do. Marie.
It's sad.
I see Dr. K
But
saying
if
compound house. I have stories. And you see,
it's so sad.
I mean, I know that our conversation surrounds these things, and it's also good that we have like
It does.
a very recent example. And I was very happy that the host of the show like directly just called the police. It wasn't about
For the
go
police, I
home
was
and
about to
let's
say
come
that.
and
They
find
just
you
carried
later.
him from the
This is
studio.
all the evidence we need, and you have admitted it without remorse. So if the person goes there to
You know
go
the
and
sad part?
plead, yes, please.
He gave the child 50 please.
Look at if you go and stand in court and say,
He
yeah,
gave
he
the
gave
child
it.
after raping her 50 cedis to shut her
What
mouth up.
what the
50
hell?
Ghana cedis.
Yeah, it's very problematic. And you see, the thing is,
Jasper, thank you so much.
when such things happen, right? And then what's the name? Like in the law process, the person has to come in. Oh, somebody joined. Sorry, if I don't
If I
we
don't
have to
laugh, I'll cry.
disconnect you. We'll have to like let you join again when we are asking the question. So I'm so
Later,
sorry.
okay?
Okay, okay.
So what's the name? When such things happen and like you go into court, right?
Yeah.
Like real proceedings. I know lawyer, she doesn't like me to call her that, but if you have seen how they do like these ones, you see that you can plead guilty with like explanation and
Yeah.
things like that. And my point is for somebody like this where there's so much evidence of you not even showing any like remorse, any
No
regrets,
remorse.
any
So
concern, and you go
in
and
his
stand there and
mind.
say that guilty with explanation. What's the explanation?
No, it just bored me. The minute he opened his mouth to talk, I got angry because they kept saying, Papa, I then I want to I'm speaking
And
in
at
how
some point, he wasn't even speaking like, you know what,
no,
like,
they have to bring the man there to come and like coerce him by
Please,
force
I'm so
for
yeah,
him to
sorry.
talk because he was wasting the
What's the
time.
meaning of twin somebody Amuna?
Muna, like rape.
rape.
And then I
So
will
Amina
him,
is
Muna, like, why
something
did you
else.
rape? Okay.
Amina is like a
I mean, now it's
ditch.
a hole. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a ditch.
Oh my God.
So he was that the lady asked, the host was a female. She asked that Papa then auto akolane muna was a
I
man
think she's
son man.
watching. Are you watching it now?
Me, no, I'm not watching it now. I'm just
I
taking
think
all that you guys
when I
want.
said the
Ah,
muna, then she asked for
okay.
the money. The man
Yeah.
said, "Man, twenty
Yesterday,
muna."
Abena,
Yeah.
yesterday I saw a video. It was somebody who, a man who was reacting to it. And in this video, there was a child. She was 5. I'm trying to give you a bit of background to why this man would feel confident enough to do this. So the child was 5 and she was like telling her family that, excuse my language, me pacho, papa we didn't say we want me che. And as she
What?
was saying it, she was being
That I've
recorded
seen the
and they were
video.
laughing.
Yeah.
They were
I've
laughing.
seen the
Now the thing
video.
is that if a child is complaining and people are laughing, the
I'm
person who is
laughing.
abusing feels emboldened.
That
You no no,
aside, the
you have
Yeah, I,
survivor would
yeah,
not feel that it's necessary for her to speak
exactly.
but
It's
about it
important,
necessary.
again.
important.
Again.
Yeah.
So
She
if you
was
So I
bring
also
she
thought
was
the
me
same
to a
crying.
though.
talk show,
She
yeah, she
was
was crying. So
crying.
if you bring me to a talk
Crying.
show to come and ask me why I've raped somebody, it is you people here that don't like it. But in the village, nobody cares.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Like this, the bigger
And
picture is and
I
for
also think,
yeah.
yeah, I also think there's a serious conversation to be had on how like African parents are so trusting, and there's
Mm-hmm.
this thing where the respect you give to adults even seep into the response your parents will have to these things. So it's like, yeah, why would you say that about an old person? Or,
Yeah.
oh, the person respects himself, so he's not going to do that, which
Reputation.
is so problematic because the fact that you respect somebody doesn't absolve them of the ability to cause harm, particularly to
Even your
children.
father's self. Your father's
Yes,
self can rape you. Not outsider.
I
It's
know, like we are very
disheartening.
passionate about these things, but this is a
I
very
wish I
good
had a lot of
flipping
power.
ground.
I wish I had a
I
lot of
promise.
power.
My mom used to say that if
Yeah, you
she
can
had
type your
power,
opinion in the comment
the
section,
next
okay?
morning
When it's time
when
for
we
you to
wake
come
up,
and
there will
talk.
be nails in the ground, and when people walk, when pedophiles walk, they will be pierced by nails from the ground. It's actually
I think we
crazy.
should be praying for such things. But let me
You cut
just
it off.
zoom right into like,
Yeah. The
let me
topic
say,
for today.
guiding questions and all of that, because I feel like this is a premise. We are talking about the social menace of pedophilia in our communities and what can we do, because right now what we are saying, we have seen the video. The person who was the like in the
Nathaniel
position to
Mensa
use
High.
something, the host, right, she instantly like called the police. In other situations, the man would have probably ended up at home, and then now they'll come and be an issue, like they'll come and release a statement and say that manhunt, like the way I don't know if you've
Yeah,
also seen that GES is saying that now they are looking for the teacher who was in the sexual misconduct. I don't know if anybody
but
has
has he
seen that.
run away?
Exactly. Meanwhile, when it was fresh that you could have found the person, a lot of time
They didn't.
passed. You allow the person to go. Now that we are on a
I thought it was an
manhunt.
immediate arrest. It wasn't an immediate arrest.
No, no, no. So they will say that they are going to investigate before they can go and invite the person and things like that. So
That's
now
crazy.
there's a
That's so
whole
crazy.
procedure now, manhunt. We have to go and find the person. So sometimes, like when we say, what can we do? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's from basic things to big things. So getting into this, like the nitty gritties, I just want to know, especially now that FY is not feeling too, I don't know how this will go for her because I know she wants to speak to this. But is there really a difference between pedophilia and child abuse? Because should I say we throw them around, right? And then we don't know if they are the same thing, if they are different things, what they look like, or how they manifest. And if these things are like different things, right?
Yeah.
How then do we know each from the other?
So the difference between both of them.
Yes, like, is there a
Okay.
legal distinction?
What I
Is
can
there
say
a
to this
social?
is specifically that last week we talked. I explained that pedophilia and CSA, which is child sexual abuse, they are
Yeah.
different. Pedophilia can be classified as like a mental or a psychological issue. But in these conversations that we're having about, like, I would like to say that it doesn't really matter because a lot of people in our society are empowered pedophiles. And the problem is that they are acting, people who are not even pedophiles are abusing children because they can.
Of
It is
course.
they have the power, they will be covered, they don't care. Now, with this issue of how can we distinguish it, the distinguishing that matters very little because even people that are pedophiles, if you are attracted to children and you don't act on it, nobody knows. So our focus should be on the people who are actually promoting and actually abusing children. Now, and a very serious thing is that because we live in a society where child abuse and child sexual assault is normalized, a lot of us play into it unknowingly. Some people, so what, sometimes when I make my videos, I say we, because in none of the things I don't do them, but I don't know where I have a blind side, or like, a blind spot. We are all a part in the system, and if, for example, if you grow up in a misogynistic system, whether you know it or not, you are a misogynist, because like it is a part of you. That is the main problem now, which is why I think that in raising awareness, it is not even as necessary to be attacking people, but like it is, we are all in the system, and we have to show how these things play out in our systems, like, or how to expose the systemic nature of this problem. So, for
Right.
example, don't tell your teacher or a child that they are don't tell your student or a child that they are your wife. Then go see saying, because the problem is that you might be saying this as a joke, but you are confusing the child. So one day, if somebody wants to rape this child and says, "But you are my wife," this child will think, "Oh, it is normal because teacher Sami says it," and they will rape her. When to in Ghana, when you are developing, they'll be touching your breast. Hey, we no funny about, they'll be hey, this like this. One day, if somebody actually comes to touch this, exactly, if somebody actually comes to touch this person's breast in an attempt to do something to them, they won't know the difference,
It's
because the
normal.
good people are touching me, the bad people are touching me. Really, it's like a systemic issue. So I know that we need to differentiate, but the important part is the people who are actually acting on this, like abusing the kids, and how all of us are allowing them, enabling it. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think just leaving off from what you said, the part where you said that, you as an individual may not necessarily be doing the same thing, right? But the fact that you exist in a society or a community that's doing that, unfortunately makes you a part of it. And I think it's something that a lot of us don't really identify or don't take note of, because you look at it and you say that, what, me as a person, I'm not doing that, I'm actually trying to fight it, right? But forgetting that if you are identifying a place, you identify all of them with what's the most like what the highest trait of something is. It's just, if you want to say, oh, maybe except, then you would come and identify the small grouping of people who are on the right side. So thank you very much for highlighting that. It doesn't matter if we as individuals here are not doing that, but the fact that we exist in spaces where this continues to happen, it is a burden upon us to make sure that these things don't happen, such that we are classified properly. But I mean, I'll move to Abena and Abundance. I think I'll take Abundance first because she hasn't spoken a lot today. Then I'll move to Abena. Abundance, why do you think pedophilia is so deeply rooted in our communities? Is there something that we are doing the last time we spoke about the fact that sometimes we are enablers, but what is it? Can you pinpoint something specifically that makes it recurring?
Okay, so starting off, I think that is the orientation of young women or orientation of children. And I know people don't draw the direct link between how women are oriented socially and what later impacts why pedophilia continues to be a pervasive issue. When you are growing up or when you're around your parents who are growing girl children, the girl child is not treated as a person with autonomy and actual like self agency. You are told things like what happens when you grow up and you become somebody's wife, nobody will be attracted to you. And in my genuine opinion, creating an environment where a child is being told consistently that they are going to be an other, in most situations a sexual other, creates an environment where they are always open to any sort of sexual attraction, even if it is from the wrong person. So beyond just telling kids that when you grow up and you want to marry, how will a man like you if you don't know how to cook? If you don't do a lot of house chores, will a man like you? Everything is, will a man like you? What would you do to attract a man? And then you also tell these older men will come around and say things like, my small wife, hey, when this girl grows, she'll be really sweet. Oh, they say literal children. And they tell literal children that, oh, when you grow up, men will come pound, those type of things. So is the consistent, subtle grooming of these people, of children, that creates an environment where pedophiles are able to thrive? when you couple all of these things with the fact that we have a perpetual idea that we must always respect adults, you've just created a very like serious canker in society, because one, you cannot hold these people accountable. Two, the victims or the potential victims are going to be stuck in these cycles, continually being preyed by these old men. And I don't see a way we can like stop it, because even if you're not the active participant in the abuse or the active pedophile, you are contributing to it in some manner or form. Whenever you tell a girl that she shouldn't do something that would make a man not like her, you are contributing to the idea that a pedophile will prey on her, and as long as it is attention, she's less likely to call it out. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Abena, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll let you touch on this if you think that there's something else that your opinion is like, if it varies from here one. And then as you're wrapping up, I'll just bring in like,
Okay.
Pandas,
So
I really understand what
yes. So I think that I feel the culture we have to, our culture to enables pedophilia to still remain in our society, because imagine you are in a house, a man comes and take advantage of a child in the home. Instead of them going to the police station to go and report, they would rather talk about settling it in the house. Oh, yenye ni fiasem, let's settle it inside the home. Let's not bring the news up too much, because when we bring it up, it's going to defame the man, or is going to tarnish the image or the reputation of the man. Probably the man is a politician, is a pastor. It could be anybody at all. Even if sometimes, even if it's a young guy, 20, 30s, we would then assume that, oh, he's going to ruin his future. So let's keep it on a down low. Let's find a settlement for the victim's parents. In that instance, they overshadowed even the victim's feelings. So it will make victims in a society also know and feel that, oh, if a man even takes advantage of me, all I have to do is to shut up. Because if I go and even report, if I go and report to my parents, or I go and report to they will make it a foolish case. Probably a friend of a friend was raped, and then they saw nothing come out of it. The child was in pain. They went to the hospitals, and in this case, even the pedophile, the culprit, will even want to go and pay for the hospital bills of the child, trying to make it wash away. And then the culture will make it wash away, because in our culture, Penny is always right. The elder is always right. We don't tarnish the image of men. It's also doubles down and falls into patriarchy a little bit, because we have made them climb some high esteem, some pedestal that we don't bring them down on. Now a victim, a child is raped. There's one issue that came to me whilst I've been, you see the videos that I do, going to the conversations and putting light on them. One lady reached out to me that she needed my help. It was a small town, and the lady was 8 years old. She was raped by an elderly man in the society. They went, she said she was scared to go to them. We convinced the parents to go to the police station. They sent the man to the police station, and then the man went behind all of them, gave money to the parents, and then the parents took the money and withdrew the case from the police station, and the police allowed them. Now, bringing it to our law too, I don't think there's a law standing firm that if somebody brings a sexual abuse case or a defilement or sexual abuse on a little girl, they have no right, even if it's the mother that brought the case, they have no right to take it from the police station. As long as it has come into the custody of the police or the security service, it is done. We are going to take the person on, and we are going to jail the person. You have sent an 8-year-old's case to the police station, and then the police said, okay, if the parents say they are not pressing charges, then that 60-year-old man should go scot-free.
I think I think lawyer will want to touch on this, that's if she can, but I think if you end up having a first appearance in court, right, the court, because it's a crime that's like against the state, right, the state can actually say that we want to continue with the case even though you have withdrawn it. But what we end up seeing is that a lot of people don't even allow the case to have like a first day in court.
They
So
sack them
that
that they
way,
cannot afford a lawyer.
exactly.
So there's no need.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the
Go
state
for
prosecution, you don't even need a lawyer. So
the
I
education
think
is
that,
low
yeah, I
on that
think that
instance.
that part, unless lawyer, if I
What I
am
can say,
throwing dust into the
what I
eye.
can say on this, no, you're right. We have capital offenses, and in some offenses, it is the state versus the individual. So you're correct, but these things are actually much deeper. I was in court last year, and there was a case of baby stealing. Some people stole a baby from a hospital, and one day I was in court, and then listen, all of a sudden, apparently there was no more evidence, and the case was squashed. So this is the kind of stuff that sometimes it doesn't even happen directly where they say, "Oh, we don't have money for a lawyer." The witnesses will be threatened. Like, if you've ever been in a Ghanaian court, they will adjourn the case until one casa you let go of it.
Of
And
course.
the problem with defilement and issue against children, they're very sensitive. You can't continually be reminding the child of what
Of the
happened,
trauma.
of the trauma, and the anonymity will be lost. They won't be anonymous with it. Like they will be victim blaming the child. All of these things, people will ostracize the family because now when so they got caught acquired then, like, what did you take
Oh,
this to court for? So actually, the law or justice should ideally take its course, but the layman will intervene interfere with it until it becomes squashed. Yeah.
yeah. And also to run up with that question, as lawyer Ifa said, basically in our society right now, even the community, our culture, you see, I said our culture too is one of the reasons why pedophilia is still in this generation, moving to the 22nd generation. 22nd century, right? Even in this century, this thing is still prevailing on and on and on like that. Because imagine the society still blaming victims. If we stop blaming victims when they come out and air their traumas, come out and air whatever has happened to them, those pedophiles, and we take all our action, all our energy, and then put it on the culprits themselves, the pedophiles, the rapists, and all those people. I don't think that this thing will be so rampant as it is right now. Because if you do something wrong and then all of us we come and then we condemn you, all the heat is on you. Would you do it again? Everybody is going to use it as a learning platform. Everybody, the person will be used as an scapegoat. But it doesn't happen in our community, in our society. It doesn't happen like that. This is a case where when victims are raped, victims are defiled, they are stigmatized in the society. Imagine I am the one that was hurt. I was raped. I was traumatized. I can barely function. I have nightmares at night. And then when I walk through my street, people are also pinpointing at me. I go to class, people are murmuring behind me. Hey, girl, we need rape. No, no. Hey, look at the psychological weight that will put on me. Because they are not even talking about, they never pinpoint, hey, papa, we need rape. No. How many times do you even hear people in your community pinpoint rapists? They are living with us. They have had cases before, but because they didn't even talk about it, we don't know. But we know the people in our communities that were raped, but we don't know the culprits. That is how
Yeah, I
bad it
also
is.
I want to emphasize very
Yeah.
quickly. Excuse me, I don't mean to interject, but
Oh,
we
don't
need to
worry.
acknowledge that some of the people who abuse these children are their caretakers. If you take this person's father to jail, who's going to take care of them? This poverty, and it is the people who are closest to you that do the worst things to you. We don't have like a proper, like child protective services or foster care. So if this person is abusing you, you have to either endure it or you have to find somebody
Else.
else to take care of you. That's another issue. Or it is your uncle that is sponsoring your family. It's walk or
Oh,
car. So will all your siblings sleep hungry because and so what? Get out.
your parents will
That's
even
number
shut
one.
you up.
They will shut you down because there's no money. Number two, like boys. The older women
Yeah.
also abuse the boys, but in our society, we think that women are always
Women.
victims and men are always aggressors. So even if the boy will pretend, like we'll say that, oh, he must have been enjoying it if an older woman is assaulting him, but you're traumatizing him. And let me tell you something: the reason why so many men in our society are so hypersexual, have no sexual control, cannot understand no, is because they've been sexually traumatized.
Yes.
And so they
Yes.
said, that, oh, me, sex is not a big deal for me. I can have sex with everybody. Everybody, they want to, everywhere their penis will enter. It is because they have been
Yeah.
exposed to too much sexual things,
Yes.
hypersexuality. And
Yes.
then when we come into our culture, I posted about this some time ago. Listen, we still treat children like as we treated children centuries ago. So, for example, once upon a time, it was puberty that marked adulthood. But now, society has expanded childhood. Now, life expectancy is longer, education is more complex, it is longer, it is no longer like that. But some people are still holding on to those kind of things. Back then, men will be looking at women, children, and waiting for them to ripen so that they can do the pole and those things and then usher them out. These are the kind of like people are holding on to archaic cultural
They are
things.
still doing it, but in a different
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
So I mean,
So
the conversations are going right, and I know my girls, we like to get into it, but bringing all of your points together, right? So don't you think, especially when Abena said that nobody ever identifies or hoots at the perpetrator, but every time it is the survivor who is being reminded of what they are going through. And then if why you also said that when it's about a child like in call, you don't want to keep putting the survivor through the same, like letting them relive their trauma. I just want to know, so do you think that this accounts for the reason why a lot of people would just rather not go down the path of justice? Like they themselves as individuals, forget the fact that, oh, the person is like an immediate family member or somebody that is helping the family because of poverty and things like that. But the fact that they just don't want to go through the whole toil.
Exactly. It is 100% true. 100% a fact. Because if I have seen people laugh at someone that was raped and they have been reminded of it, because the last time where I'm staying is different from where my mom stay. And my mom told me that unfortunately a girl that I know I basically helped groom growing up. Unfortunately, the mom sent her in the evening to go and buy cream for her from a lady she normally takes cream from. So she was going to the person's house, not knowing the man was standing there, I think around the shop of the mom, heard whatever the mom said she should go and get, and followed her. So I think far away from the shop of the mom, the guy said, "Hey, let's say chemi o ma me se mi nkoja o nekoji nkuni bra." And this kid thought, oh, who wouldn't,
This
like
is
my
true.
mom is
Yes.
sent me to go and buy cream, and she told me in confidence. That means, okay, my mom could have said because it's quite late, it was like 6 p.m. She's scared that something will happen to me, so probably she said this gentleman should follow me and escort me. So when they were moving, the kid was quite naive. The man said, "Oh, we are almost there, so let's pass here. I'm going to take something from Asumesi's house. So when I take it, then we further go take the cream, and then we come back to your mommy's house." Oblivious. So naivety. She just followed because mommy said he should come and accompany me. And then when they went into the house, the man just pinned this child down and raped the girl with knife at her throat. And I was so scared. But the thing is, when I went to the town, almost everybody has heard about the kid being raped, and so many people are saying so many things about the little girl. Now they are blaming and saying, "No, Asoro." Recently she was working in a certain way, and I'm saying because she just entered the SHS, maybe she worked in a certain way or seduced the guy in a certain way. The stories I heard when I went home, I was so appalled.
Yeah.
Someone was raped. They are not talking about the trauma of the girl. Imagine being raped at knife points in the middle of the night, raped her mercilessly, and then tied her down. She used adrenaline to just bolt up and run away. The how she even found herself, you see the trauma this girl is going to have in her head till.
Yeah.
So because a lot of people, they don't know how to deal with trauma. It can move out to the day they go casket.
Yeah. But
So
I mean,
yeah,
no,
and this
please.
small town, sorry, and this small town, everyone is also making the story some way. Now she can't even come out. Imagine the guy is freely walking, and the
Yeah.
kid can't even come out. So when it
Yeah.
happens like that, will I come and tell you?
No.
Would I want
But
to be scared and be in my
the thing
room?
is,
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do to, as it were, have
It will
perpetrators,
change
even if, even
for
not
them to
even
be okay.
change, but you see, even if it's like the people don't want to go down the path of justice, right? Maybe we should have like a record where
Okay.
like we have people's faces and things like that. And you don't like, if there's any case alleged against you, but I think human rights activists or people who definitely defend
Yeah.
predators may say that that's like against their rights, because then that can also pass as defamation. But my point is,
Look at
if
that.
you are
A predator with
if
the rights.
yeah, because like if there's like an alleged case against you, we probably should have like a
Yeah.
record, right? That this
Definitely.
person has been accused of ABCD, just so that like people are able to be safe. And in extreme cases, like maybe you have more than five accusations against you, there's restrictions, don't go in a
You
school
will be
zone, like
castrated from
those
the
kind of
society. You are a
things.
danger to everybody.
Yeah.
You're a
And
danger
that
to
makes me
everybody.
think of it that,
Even one cry, you're a danger to everybody.
exactly. But that also makes me think of the fact that, we talk about large communities. We are happy to say we are communal, we love each other, and we
Yeah.
say that, oh, Ghanaians are hospitable and things like that. And we say it takes a village to raise a child. We understand, how people will say that, oh, back in the day, when you do something wrong, you don't have to get home for your mom to correct you. Somebody walking down the street can actually correct you on your mother's behalf or on your parents' behalf. But unfortunately, when it comes to protecting the child, when it comes to raising the child, from sex education to actual protection against predators and things like that, we don't seem to see that village that's supposed to protect the child. What is it? Is it that maybe it leans into what Ifwa says, that people, just by virtue of the fact that they exist in the community, are bystanders, and then they buy into this idea, and they are happy for it to exist. Abundance, let me know what you think.
So I think that that entire thing is caused by people thinking that the victims are the villains, or the people who are perpetrating the harm are not to be blamed. It's I think that's where it comes from. People are not, and what you're saying is really true. When it comes to correction of the child, everybody thinks it's their responsibility to train your child in the way they should go, until it gets to the fact that somebody has raped them or somebody has sexually assaulted them and everybody knows about it. But there's also a thing where people think, oh, it's only the parents' issue to teach their child about sexual orientation or stuff. And some parents are like active gatekeepers of sexual information from their children. Because even if somebody like tries to educate them or something, wahala, if a
They will
teacher
say you
tries to
are
say, oh,
forcing the child.
trouble, they'll say that, oh, say Makwalano or something like that. So people are also very scared to like orient children about these things and
Yes.
like make them be very protective of themselves and all of that. I think that also plays a role. But yeah, we can also encourage people in society to be more cautious and to help protect children at large.
I mean, this is to Abena, and if I wants to pick it up, but I just want to know. You see, don't you think it's because we also like feeding back into this particular question? Don't you think it's because we say that society is can take charge of training, of grooming, of correction? It's the reason why, even if the child is the one that's facing like whatever abuse, right? They have experienced it. The society doesn't go looking for the person who hurts them, but then the society instantly starts to judge and blame the child. Don't you think that could be a reason?
A reason for I didn't get the question clearly.
So don't you think how people treat, like the judgment and the
Yeah.
blaming, and as it's we're putting that responsibility on the children
Yeah.
when they experience abuse, just stems from the fact that everybody also feels that they have the right to take care of your child. Don't you think so?
Well, the thing is, you having a say, everyone in the community, definitely, if we have children in the community and I see you doing something that is not good, it fast on like you are my child, so I will tell you, oh, where you are going is not good for you because maybe I know what is there. Don't do that. The community is supposed to come together and safeguard the children, but it is the case where now everybody doesn't care about anything again. Now they even blame the victims. If the society at large, right, came together to look for the perpetrators, do you think victims will be shamed rather than the predators? The victims will not be shamed. A community is stronger. That is why we have a proverb that says, when you remove one broom, it breaks, but when you put it together, it does not break. So if the parents are not even strong, there could be someone stronger in the community that will stand behind the victim's parents or the victim's so and so to fight for the person. But the community wouldn't do that nowadays. Now, majority of them, they just do this
And
and
take
look at your
videos.
child. Yeah, they'll look at your child climbing the hill, knowing well that when they descend, they'll fall into a ditch. They will look at, hey, Akule Yobetomo, hey, Akule Yobetomo, from their window. Then they will just watch. Instead of shouting, hey, si from na abetom. Nah,
Yeah.
they will tell you that you're not my responsibility. But in my day, when you were going here, and people now no better. They will even tell you before you start even climbing the hill in the first place. But now, most of the times, even the community, as the girl's example I cited, they judge you before your parents do.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
hey, what was she wearing?
yeah.
That day, no, there was so much like, what was
Yeah.
she wearing? That night, why did she leave home? Why
Yeah.
was she not in the house? Now, this one, the mom sent her. So, can you say, why did she go on the errand that she was sent?
Yeah.
Now, do you know they were blaming the kid that why would you go and see a stranger and still follow her and still follow him to go and get something, forgetting about the manipulative tactic the guy used. Which Anka, even if it was elderly people, some elderly people would have even fallen for it.
Yeah.
You get the point. But even
Yeah.
they didn't think that the kid was a kid. Now they are even making kids feel that they are not kids anymore. They can't, like a kid can't be dumb. They are
Yeah.
forgotten that kids are now picking traits. Kids are now picking lessons. They are picking so many things from the society. They are forgotten that they are naive. Make a frontal lobe has not developed yet.
Yeah.
They don't even
But
know how to think.
I'm just, when
Yeah.
we are talking this particular example you are giving, this is very much about the society is judging the child. The society is putting that burden on the child. What about the
Yes.
instances where it is the parents, like the mother, the father, the siblings, who keep increasing the burden on the child? What do you suggest? Is there anything you want
Increasing
to
which burden? The
so the
counting
kind of
burden of.
judgments that they put on the kids? So I'll just bring this in as an example. So there's a case that we deal with and things like that, and unfortunately, the I think the parents of the person makes a few, and I can sometimes understand, because you want to find an explanation to why this should happen to your child, right? But sometimes the kind of comments and things like that. So unfortunately, the siblings have picked up on some of those comments and they use it against the survivor.
Because of how the mom used to talk about the child.
Exactly. But on the outside, there's like a willingness to fight for justice. But the point is, in an attempt to try and understand what exactly like is happening, like why has this happened and things like that, you start to make certain demands of the child. For example, someone will say, I've told you that when somebody touches me, come and tell me. My point is the reason why you're even finding out, because somebody touched there, and per your
supposed to tell you.
direction, the person was supposed to be able to tell you, and that is why she has been able to tell you, forgetting that it wasn't that the person just touched her. You get what I'm trying to say? And not recognizing the fact that in other people's cases, they are even unable to get to that point where they are speaking up about it. So acknowledging that the child has done well, the child is bold and brave enough, they just add that burden. So just imagine having that burden from the society. Then now you also have one from very close to you. Is there anything you would want to say to people that are increasing this burden for survivors?
Let
And
me
before
give
you
you
go
a
into it, I would be happy if we can use survivors more. So we use survivors more because for us that on this side, we believe that until you have died out of your experience of sexual abuse or violence, you are a survivor, because those experiences, however sad unfortunately they are, they make you, they encourage you to engineer change, they encourage you to do better. So we want to term it as survivors, also because of the innate pity that comes with the word victim. So I would forgive you, but just saying that that's what we generally like to do, just so that people feel more emboldened and comfortable. Yes. So
So I have a story. Let me share that story concerning exactly what you just said. There's one lady that reached out to me that she has a burden on her heart, and it has eaten so much into her brain, and she's traumatized. She's now even in the university. And this thing happened when she was in SHS, when she was about to finish SHS. And
Wow.
she has not even been able to concentrate in her books, and she's in her final year. You get. And I asked her what happened. And she was even scared to even tell me, oh, because she thought, even as much as I'm sharing my condolences with so many people, I'm sharing my support with so many people, and I'm speaking up for them. No, she was even scared because of how home is. And I made the ground very fertile for her to speak to me. And she told me she was raped. That time she was untouched in SHS. A guy raped her, and she doesn't know where the guy is. I think from her way from school to the home, and that's happened. And she got pregnant when she went home, and then she didn't know that encounter. She doesn't have a relationship with her mom, so she didn't tell anybody she was raped. So already she was dealing with the trauma in SHS. She was raped. And when she was about to finish, but unfortunately, she found out after 5 months that she was pregnant. So the baby con deform already.
yeah.
And then she didn't have a belly. Oh, she didn't have a belly, so she didn't even know. And you see, sometimes the youth, when they get pregnant, they are very strong because of how, yes. So it didn't show. So after 5 months, she went to tell the mom that it seems when they saw that she was sick, she was pregnant, the mom started boiling. Uyakola bonne, haven't I told you? Then, Makacho Yakola bonne, SHS now started shouting and blaming this girl. At that point, she wanted to tell her mom that, Mommy, I was raped, and I just found out after 5 months that I'm pregnant. Come and see what this woman did to the daughter. Now the daughter had the pain in her because after the mom did that, told all the family members, and all the family members blamed her. They didn't ask her what happened for you, who are you dating. They saw that the girl is pregnant, and because of the fear, she didn't even open her mouth to say that she was raped. Now she has given birth. After giving birth, they sent her to the university. She has been in the uni, and she has been unable to concentrate because of she feels the pain that the mother did. The mom's betrayal, the mom's unlovingness towards her, and blaming her. She can't speak properly, like she has putting herself in a shell. So even in the school, things that she's supposed to even ask questions, if she doesn't understand, and she's failing. And I thought she was even in a second year, so that probably I would ginger her, help her every day. I will be talking to her so that the books come up a little bit, the grades come up a little bit. She's in her last semester, and she said she has traded so many papers. Like I don't even know. All I'm doing is I've told her that when they go on a break, she should go and talk to her mom. No matter how the mom will shout, she should just find a time, maybe in the evening or something, and go talk to the mom about it and pour out her heart to her mom that what she said after she got pregnant, broke her heart, and she would explain that she was raped, to the woman, the mother. And I told her that whatever the mom says, she should just come and tell
She
me.
didn't say anything. Yeah.
Yes, she shouldn't say anything. She should just come and tell me so that I can speak to her. Because one, I'm still me giving her that advice. I'm even scared because I don't know what the woman is going to do. It's either she's going to add to the trauma or relieve the girl's trauma. So you see, living with a woman or a mother like this, that would not even think about your welfare as a child, but rather blame you for every little thing she did wrong as a parent. In this case, it's the mom's fault. Because if she made the environment peaceful and nurturing for her daughter to come and speak to her, the day she was raped,
Yeah.
she would have run to her mommy.
But Abina, not to cut you short, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you something. I want to ask everyone here about healing. But before we go into healing, right, I just want to touch on the fact that you said you kind of blame the mother because you feel that there wasn't like a supportive environment. I want to, abundance will join soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch on the fact that for me as an individual, right? I mean, and I say this a lot, and that is how on this side has grown to where it has grown to, right? So I experienced sexual abuse before I turned 16, a few days to my 16th birthday. And obviously, I think on this live, I don't come off as a person who is shy or who doesn't have audacity. And I have a very good relationship with my mother. I kid you not, we are like sisters. But even in the environment where there was a cultivation of a space where I could speak to my mother about anything and about everything, even for me, it took a very long time. It took as much as 2 years before I ever spoke about it to anybody. You understand what I'm trying to say? So sometimes, and whenever I talk about this, I go on to explain or extend and say that it comes from the place where, as an individual, right, with our making, I don't know if that would come up as biology, but with our making, the person is how should I say it? The person is, as it's where the individual feels responsible for. Okay, she says she's requesting. I just want to I'm looking for her request.
But I understand what you're
I'd
saying.
like to
But
say something
Okay,
as well.
so sorry, I've added it. If I should, are you saying something or should I finish? Which one?
No, you can
if
finish
I
it.
was
I'll
going
talk.
to,
Okay. So I spoke about it for the first time 2 years after and all of that. And even though I had this space, right, I feel that I fell into the category of people who just feel that, you know what, as a person, you feel that you have been violated. You, Ankasa, as a person, you have been violated. And as an individual, you just feel like you have a burden of responsibility to protect yourself, such that if anything else go outside of the remits of your protection, you feel that I let myself go, like I let myself down. So I'm just saying that I think there are a lot of people who may be in environments where they could have spoken about it, but then go on to fall within the category of people who just feel that, you know what, I let my own self down. Like, you fall under the people who are blaming themselves. So for you, it's not even somebody's external responsibility, like them blaming you and things like that. But you as a person, you just feel like, what could I have done more? What could I have done better?
Event will happen.
And then this takes me into healing, because when you spoke about your friend and her experience with her mother, right? I feel that a lot of people don't also why
What's happening? Okay.
we have detected inactivity during your current life complete. Oh my god, are you guys serious?
Which inactivity again?
I don't
My
know.
face is here, your face is here.
Oh my god. Life will end in 4 minutes. What do they want me to do? Can you guys tell me? Oh, Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. Like, like
You
I
have to
said.
go and come back again. It happened.
Yeah. Okay. So we are here. It's not going to end. I have done the verification. So,
Okay.
when we talk about healing, that particular experience, right? I feel that people don't realize that healing is a longer, more essential part of the journey of the survivor than the justice. Because to be fair, if a person goes to prison and then what else? I'm not
What
getting
about
money.
the
I'm not
survivor?
getting exactly.
Is it
And
out of
I
their
think
mind?
exactly. And I think that because we don't talk about the healing enough, we don't let people know that because healing stems from the fact that you respect that the person matters and the person's experience matters, but the current dispensation or the current environment just makes it such that all we care about is the justice, and that is completely fine. But point is, when we focus so much on the justice, forgetting that the human being exists and has feelings, then
How
that's
many
where our problems
rehabilitation
come.
centers do we even have for this type of people?
I'm apart from rehabilitation centers like basic therapy. So on this side, we also run some free healing services where people are volunteering their services, like social
Yes.
workers, psychologists,
Even
counselors,
the
and it's
government one,
completely free. You can just go on our website and book it, and you would be assigned somebody. And we have people who come recurring. Some people even come with cases that are not even sexual abuse related. But we have said that it is free, so we want it to be free, and we want to afford people that opportunity. So I just wanted to bring these things like
yeah,
about the
let's try to
environment,
keep
because
it in the mind.
sometimes people feed into the fact that we say that, oh, you know what, the person didn't create a conducive environment and things like that. That is very true. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that
Yeah.
sometimes that environment even still exists. But it's because we, the survivors of the
Yeah.
sexual abuse, just feel that, and
But if you know, not to cut you off, oh, sorry, but if you know your
don't worry.
child so well and someone goes through a traumatic experience like this, it will definitely show in her mannerisms. Probably the way she
I
used to
don't think so.
communicate. No,
Because me as an
from the girl I'm talking
individual,
about, you see,
nothing changed, to be
but like from
honest.
the girl I'm talking about who is hurt,
Right,
I
right,
feel
right.
like for her to hold on to it this long means everything about her
Yeah,
was beaming red light. The
yeah,
parents should have known.
yeah.
Because it seems she was a bright, bubbly girl, and all of a sudden, Zim,
She's very, yeah,
quiet down. If I was a mother, I would know. Ah, why? Ask and I say,
yeah,
"Yeah." You ask some question, baby, are you okay? Why are you sad? Ask
yeah,
something. But meanwhile, you are blaming her, so she just maybe she knows the mom is someone who is very loud, loud and always fighting, always beating this, doing that.
Yeah, also apart from that, right?
Yeah.
Even
Sorry,
if you are
Abundance, when you
not
finish, if where you can speak just because we
Yes.
cut you. So Abundance, finish.
okay, so apart from the fact that people are also like reserved after issues of sexual harassment and stuff like that, genuinely sometimes the way your parents also react to like general news about sexual assault or sexual violence can also influence how you feel about talking about it when it happens to you. And
Yes.
honestly, in an African society, parents are dealing with too much to care or notice about the way your child becomes reserved after a case of sexual violence. So, for example, you have 4 children, you are a stay at home mom who has to deal with all of these children's needs and wants. After that, you have to make sure that you take care of everybody, you cook, you clean the house. If somebody becomes reserved, they're just going to assume that, oh, Bibi Nayan was school or she
Yeah.
has not been doing well in school. Like, not every parent, even if they notice, some parents will just choose to turn a blind eye to the fact that your demeanor has changed as a child. They're not going to sit you down. If they ask you one, two, three, you don't talk. Okay, it's fine. So just keep it moving. So you are not going to the child already feels alienated or ostracized by the reactions of their parents to people's issues, and then you are a parent who has a lot on your plate. You are not going to notice. Yeah.
The busy ones.
Okay. What
Yeah.
I
Efua.
wanted to say was that, do you guys remember? Okay, this thing didn't happen in my family, but people say it a lot. How when you drop a glass or a plate and it breaks, instead of your parent to be concerned about if you are safe,
Your head, they will be
they
shouting
start
at you
to be
because you moved the
this
plate.
is the same. It kind of like a similar situation. And when sexual abuse or assault happens to a child, sometimes Ghanaians think everything is about home training. And if you were well raised, you wouldn't do this. If you were well raised, you wouldn't do. Please, there are a lot of quote unquote well raised people from
Raised.
loving families that are doing a lot of nonsense outside. So number one, they think it's about home training, and in a Ghanaian society, children, especially the girl child, is a reflection of their mother. So sometimes when something happens to you, your mother does not see it as an independent act. She thinks it is a reflection of her failure. So for example, when something happens in the house, your father can say, oh, I love my children. But when the children go astray, he say, Shawomano, look at your children. Look at what they are doing. So in this situation, in African families, there's an issue of enmeshment already. They don't see you as an individual person. Even when you are grown, they think you are still a child. So if as a child, you've gone to go and if somebody rapes you or whatever, they are thinking that it is their failure. And because they don't want to feel like that, they say you are their kolabone. Because I warned you and I told you and I trained you. And now we absolve the actual abuser of all of these things. Right. Now, when it comes to another thing that I want to touch on is the concept of an akitasia. For if you don't understand like akitasia, we say kataunusie, like the preservation of virginity, purity culture, those kind of things. Sometimes when people are abused, they feel so much hurt because they have lost their virginity, quote unquote. It is because you are not even concerned that this person has violated you, because you say you are a present for a future husband, and now this present has been unboxed, unwrapped forcefully. Let me just be vulnerable first. I was held hostage one time. I was kidnapped. And when I came to share this, I was told that it's because I told the man that I was a virgin and he wanted to eat a virgin. And so because of this, I didn't talk about it. I kept it to myself, and still I go to sleep and push it down in my chest. And I'm not going to talk about it because I personalized the shame. I continued to interact with this man because I was like, no, it's my fault. It's my fault. They said it's because you told him that you like him. It's because, oh, you kissed him. That's why he held you hostage. You're like, okay. So like the issue of shame, akitasia, cover yourself. Everything is a responsibility of the victim. That is why these kind of things, continue to be perpetuated. Where we are concentrating our aggression on the wrong people, and we think about this in the wrong way. Like you think that it is the home training that will save the child. And sometimes even the bullet senior high, you see that people say, even if the teacher groomed the child, is she the only child that is being groomed? Why didn't the other students fall for it and she fell for it? These are the kind of things that people say. Like, why are you the only one that the teacher moved to? Yes. So now you could go on and on, but this is one of the reasons why these mothers do this. Like, they feel like they have failed and they can't personalize the failure. They have to project it onto something, exactly, because otherwise they have failed in the family, in the society. Yeah.
And I also think that another thing we are forgetting is that a lot of older women don't see sexual assault as sexual assault or a violation of their girl's body. They see it as attention and desire. And because a bunch of them think that it is wrong for a minor to be getting the attention and desire that they would rather get, a bunch of them just shift the blame to the younger kid. Like, oh, a older man is moving to you at your age, so you can't say no. It's only bad girls that get moved to by older men. So of course they'll rape you. You there, they'll rape you. You there, you're always wearing crop top. Why won't they rape you? Those type of things. And it's really concerning. That's just
Sometimes they also forget that kids also develop in certain ways they have no control over. There are some people genetically they are blessed. They are going to have asses and breasts more than their mothers or even their older sisters. But when you use that as a yardstick to blame them, there are some people because of their body type, even if they wear bula, their bodies are still going to show through their outfits. That is why sometimes when they are using that as a yardstick to blame the survivors, I don't understand that what you were wearing. Sometimes they forget that the human body too, the females, we can't control what we wear. If in that, then all of us, we wear socks. Even with the socks we are wearing, somebody looks like a slate.
Even with the hijab, they are
Even
raping
with the
them.
hijab, we still see, can't you see some Muslims? If
Mother.
I see some Muslims,
Yes, their
even with
body
their
will
bola head,
show.
their bomb will still show.
Abena, do you know that a man told me last year that
Yeah.
when men see, I came to raise awareness, and when he said when men see women who dress and wear short skirts, what comes to their mind is, since you don't want to wear the outfit, the dress, let's remove it for you.
So what
This
about
is
the Muslims that are
this
raped?
yeah, this is an engineer, a man who is almost 40, saying that when they see small
Babies,
children and women
babies,
wearing short skirts, when they see small
babies.
women, it means let them remove the dress. Oh, anyway.
What
So
about
I
the
mean, let me
3-month-year-old
before
baby?
exactly. So
I'm
I was
coming
going to
now.
talk.
The
So
three
I
months year
think
old baby with the
yeah,
diaper and the enyora. Says how they can the white
yeah,
string
yeah,
is
yeah,
called enyora.
yeah,
That
yeah,
enyora, what is
yeah.
that appeal? What is appealing about the wrap, the babe,
Iranian.
and that small pajama thing, the baby
Yeah, I
clothes
mean,
now
I
it fits in
always,
the
I
town.
always talk about that the onesie. It's called the onesie. I know what you're talking about. That thing that they wear together. But just to before I get into the next question, and I think 2021, the UN, as part of 16 Days of Activism, had an exhibition where they showed clothes of kids that actually people who had experienced
Yeah, that survived. Use your dictionary.
sexual, yes, who experience sexual abuse, right? And the clothes started from as young as 3 months to as old as 90 years. So these were labeled items. And some of, like you said, the onesie. So they were like onesies. And for the 3 months old, it was a swimsuit, like a bathing suit. So that instantly makes you know that it's somebody that the parents trusted, or the parents, one of the
Yes.
guardians was part of that. Then in that exhibition, they had burqas and niqab. So burqa and niqab is a form of hijab, right? Where you don't see the person's eye
The one that
completely.
they it's like a net tapper. It covers
Exactly, like
your
the
the
one the
Afghanistan.
Afghans wear and things like
Yeah.
that. So burqas, you don't see anything at all. And there
Isha was
is
saying
a
somewhere even in
clothing.
wedding gowns.
So you see clothing, that's a burqa. And you ask yourself, so then what is the explanation for the people
What
saying
did
that
you
I
see?
was attracted to you? Because
Like what did
for
you
the
see?
people who, exactly, for people who go as far as niqab and burqa, right? I
Not
promise you,
nothing.
as a
It's not
person
nothing.
who is Muslim, even after, if they take off their veil now, that's not it. There's another veil underneath that's going to make it able for the burqa or the niqab to sit,
It's on it.
and there's a dress under the whole view. So what exactly
Did you see?
would you stand on to say that this person attracted you? And look
You
at
said
that
your eyes.
child
So what did you see?
who, exactly, the child who had the bathing suit. What at all is nice for that child that you think you are so attracted to that you can't stay away from? And this is why sometimes I continue to insist that when we designate pedophilia as a mental
A
situation, right,
psychological ailment or something.
we should definitely add that some mental illnesses deserve punishment, because the excuse that comes with it is, if you define it as a mental illness, then no, the person doesn't deserve jail time. Because
Question.
if
I'm sorry.
somebody
Question.
is,
With,
oh
with
yeah,
just your
sure,
statement. With your statement.
yeah,
Those who say that, So if I'm a doctor, I've been able to go to doctorate school. I'm a lawyer. I went with my mentally ill mind, went through all the system, and then I became what? I became a pedophile. You are coming to tell me I have a mental illness. You won't punish me. Like the pilot issue that I've just no, the pilot issue that has we faced, and a lot
yes,
of people
yes,
are
yes,
saying
the
that
British Airways,
probably
yes.
he's having yabua, he's having a mental this thing. You drove through 200 miles to a 12 year, was it 12 years?
Yes,
12-year
12 years.
old
I
girl's
think he started from
house.
when she was 12.
Yes, but still she's still a minor.
Yes, 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 yes.
Only that day to app on it, so 6 months on the app, Instagram, moved on to a different app, and then you drove 200 miles and you're telling me you're not up here. You're not right up here. I saw recently. I've seen a video of a man at a beach where there are kids there, and he was jerking off. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
the video.
If have you seen that video? A guy, a black man, stood there.
No, I
It was
haven't
a
seen
kids.
that.
It was a kids beach side family with lots of children. He
Seriously,
was standing there in the open, took out his penis and started jerking off, looking at the children and jerking
oh,
off.
that's crazy.
Jerking off literally. When I find the video, if I will share it with you. I'm sure I saved it because I knew I'll talk about it one day. Jerking awful. And then they were just trying to hoot him to leave. And because they think it's a psychological problem or it's a mental issue, they will let him go. They will think that, oh, them.
That excuse is so overused. Like they know what
Yes.
they're doing. I'm
So they will
sorry.
intentionally act as if they are mentally deranged. Come and stand there like mentally deranged. How many times do we even see a madman, those who even walk around our streets, looking at a child and jerking off?
Yeah.
Even those
And
who
you
are
s-
in their own space.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to go into the next question, but before that, when people talk about I was attracted to the person recently on Ohinini Adazwa, she is
Yeah.
raising funds for a child, a baby, and the baby is a child of a mentally unstable woman, and when the baby was being delivered, a midwife around went to help the woman out, and then she took the child with her and she's trying to raise the child. So you ask yourself, what engineered or what encouraged somebody to think that it is appropriate to sleep with a mentally unstable? Because when people say that, oh, the person looks attractive, and this is no offense to anybody that has any mental illness, but then there is a certain image of the person is attractive, right? When they are describing reasons why people deserve it to
Her
be
legs were
abused,
attractive. She was
they
wearing
say,
mini
oh, the
skirts.
person was wearing this, the person was wearing that. But all of these people are people who are cleaned up and things like that. So what about the mentally unstable woman
With
who
knotted
is
hair.
most likely not cleaned up? But here we are. I mean, it's a problem. And Dr. Ifo, I'll just like to take your views on this, since you know the law. We are talking about this. We are talking about this with a lot of passion. We are talking about this with a lot of disgust, interest, desire to do more. What is Ghana's laws? What currently exists? Is there any protection for the children, or is it such that the laws are skewed in a way that it continues to protect the abuser? Tell us what are the gaps in the law?
If are you there?
I don't know. Yes,
She's
she
there.
is. She's around.
We should give you breathing space. Probably I'll say a few
Maybe
things.
her network. Yes,
Okay.
okay. So abundance, Abena, anyone that wants to take up just before if we are joins.
Wait, can
If we are, can
anybody
you
hear
okay,
me?
yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, waiting for
My notes are on a different page, so because I switched
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
to that
okay,
page,
sorry.
I think my okay. Anyway, let me just go off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
the Ghana legal framework, we have our constitution, we have our Children's Act, we have our Criminal Offences Act, and our Domestic Violence Act. So I told you last time that Ghana has beautiful laws. Ghanaians were very good lawmakers. The issue is that if you even look at the definition of our current Children's Act and this Criminal Offences Act, especially when it comes to sexual assault, excuse me, but it really needs to be updated because even when we say defilement, rape, it doesn't even account for boys. Like it is very gender specific. So a lot of assault is going under the radar.
Yeah.
And I think I agree. Oh, doctor, lawyer
She'll
is
come
good.
back. She's referring, so she'll be back.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, like the notes I prepared are on a
Yes,
different
so I understand
page.
when you switch and
Sorry,
come back.
sorry,
Exactly.
We'll wait for
sorry.
you.
So
Take time.
the second thing is that we have our framework needs to be expanded, because now the sexual assault is not just physical. A lot of digital and online sexual assault, grooming, children are being exposed to a lot of things. Like, for example, look at this pilot issue.
Yes.
Are you going to say that he didn't groom her or he didn't assault her because they were communicating online?
We did. From
Exactly.
online.
You see, like, there's a lot of things. Last time somebody shared a video with me of a woman saying, "Hey, you are following me and you don't have a sugar mommy. Okay, like and follow and share, and let's start this thing. If you come on my page, you'll find a sugar mommy here."
Right.
Life is expanding, and I think our in law school, something they used to say is law follows life. But life has moved on, and the Ghanaian legal sphere is still catching up. It's still catching up. Excuse me, let me check my notes again.
And also, to add up to hers, there's a gap I also feel should be closed up. Let me say that a gap I found is that you see, in the law it says that defilement starts from 16 downwards.